self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are Conversation Con Artists. What's going on? It's your boy, Mr. On Point.
And I am Calamity Red.
We're Conversation Con Artists back for another episode. What I'm going to need y'all to do is go to www.conversationconartists.com to check out our current episode with the articles linked to that episode, our past episodes, as well as a mail icon link that will give you an opportunity to leave us some feedback. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. MISTER_on-point.
And I can be found at Red_Calamity. Also, we are still doing the listen letter portion of the show. So if you have a question that you would like for us to answer on the show, you can send it into the website, or you can send it into our Gmail account, which is conversationconartists with an S at gmail.com. And this week we have a question about whether or not we think online dating is effective in meeting people.
I think so. I think it's very effective in meeting people.
The caliber of people might vary.
See, when you get specific, we talking about a different type of question. Yeah, you can meet a whole bunch of crazy motherfuckers online. Hell yeah, you can meet a whole bunch of people that will make you feel for your life.
Yeah. I wonder how these people are walking around in life being this fucking stupid. Like, how do you live your life day to day being this stupid?
I think that we take our intelligence for granted. I think that's what it's about. I think most people are walking around here that stupid.
Really?
Yes.
That makes me sad. That makes me weep for humanity.
It does. You don't work with somebody that was, well, what job did you work in that didn't take a lot of education or knowledge, or at least, because I've served at restaurants. That don't take shit. Except being able to move. That's all serving. Be able to, you need to be able to move, be able to read, and be able to hear. If you can do those things, you can serve. You don't gotta be intelligent for that.
Yeah.
Now, you're a much better server if you're intelligent. So I'm saying I've worked in positions where there's people that was stupid that I worked with.
I just don't understand. Like, I don't know. But I will say that as of today, Saturday, March the 4th, because y'all gonna hit this on Tuesday, I deleted all of my online dating profiles and I deleted all the apps off my phone because I was checking the sites like maybe once a month. And so then by the time I check, like, I have a bunch of messages. And this last time I had 28 messages, right? So I'm thinking, out of 28 individual messages, surely one of these will be a potential prospect. Nope. No. A handful of them was in prison. A couple of them I couldn't even decipher what the fuck it was they was trying to say because they were so illiterate. Like, out of 28, I was like, you know what? Fuck this. And I just deleted my profile and deleted the app because I was tired of it at that point.
You know, I have to say that you can meet good people on social media. Because I'm on social dating. I gotta say that you can meet good people on social dating sites because I'm on there and I feel like I'm a good person. But that being said, it's like trying to find a very, very specific needle in a needle stack. Like, that just is, you just gonna get hurt all the way around. You know.
What's the craziest exchange you had on like a dating site? Mine probably is a tie between the man that was married that didn't tell me he was married and his wife sent me a text message. And I have a friend that could corroborate that story because he was with me when I got the text message. Or the guy who was looking for somebody that was interested in pegging him. And I also learned what pegging was because I didn't know what pegging was. I had to Google it. And I was horrified when I Googled it and found out what it was.
Tell the people.
So if you're like me and you've never heard of pegging, good for you. But pegging essentially is a heterosexual man who is interested in a woman wearing a strap on and penetrating him. And it's called pegging.
The question is he heterosexual?
That's my question. But according to Wikipedia, because there's a whole Wikipedia page on pegging, believe it or not, apparently they're supposed to be heterosexual men who just like the stimulation of anal sex, but they're not interested in like men.
Well, if you consider that homosexuality is the interaction with the same sex. Is not specific to the same sexual
acts. Because there are men that, women that have anal sex with women. It's not them being penetrated, I guess, that makes them gay. It's just fucking. It ain't nothing I want to be a fucking part of. Let me just say that. So, like, when I read what it was, I blocked him immediately because here's my thing. I guess you don't know. I mean, at first I was gonna say, do I look like I would be interested in some shit like that? But then as I thought about it before I said it, what the fuck would somebody who was interested in that look like, I guess? So he just got to shoot his shot and see what happens, I guess. But like, that was just really fucking weird because I had no idea that was a thing and that it existed and that it was as prevalent apparently as it is.
Listen, man, if you claim to be straight, all right, well, let's say for the sake of the article, if you are straight, and you like for someone to peg you, you need to introduce that when it's too late. Like when she loved you already, okay? Like, don't start this at the beginning to give her enough time to get out of the situation. Just let her know, listen, I love you, you love me, I like being banged in the ass with toys. Okay? Now, you can leave me, but I just know it's harder at this point. You can do it or not.
Part of his argument in the message that he sent me was like that, well, you don't have to worry about buying a strap-on. He already had one. I guess it was one that he enjoyed. But doesn't that mean that somebody else had like put it on? Or maybe, I don't know. But he was like, I already have a strap-on. You don't have to buy one.
So that was the only thing that will hold you up from wanting to peg him.
What?
Not having your own strap on.
No, I don't want to deal with that shit at all.
No, that's what I'm saying. From his mind, the only thing that will stop you is just not having your own. So I got it. Like, sir, you need to have all the seats.
That was so fucking weird. Like, that's hands down the weirdest interchange I've had with somebody on online dating.
I've had my share of transsexual conversations in which it gets too far before you realize, I don't think this is a woman, you know? And so I'm a cold turkey. I quit conversations cold turkey. I don't have no cordial dialogue with you saying, you know, I don't say nothing. I just be like, oh, it's a wrap. They don't know me. You know, unless they do. But like if they live in an apartment building down and they've been seeing me and they just happen to find me on that.
Oh, that'd be creepy. I've had that happen though. I have had people, like the apartment complex I live in now, I was checking the mail and a guy walked up to me and was like, I think I saw your profile on POF. And I was just like, I don't know what to say to that. Like, this is just fucking weird.
With your hair being so red, yes, you got like a fucking light from heaven gleaming down on you for people that done seen your ass.
Yeah.
On a dating site.
And I think, even just since I moved here, that's happened. Like, I've been in Big Lots before, somebody walked over, I think I saw you, and it is the hair. The hair, it makes me very noticeable or like recognizable. You gonna recognize me.
You like a Sims character with an icon on top of your head walking around for everybody who's seen you before.
It's always weird when somebody comes, because like, here's the thing. Most of the time, they didn't either sent me a message or like flip right on me, and I never responded because I wasn't interested. And now I got you in my face questioning me about why I never responded. God, I wasn't interested. That's fucking obvious, isn't it? Like, it's always weird. That's something I won't miss since I've gotten off now, is people recognizing me, and it's only because of the hair. Because there's not really anything else like super recognize. Like, you're not gonna see me in a grocery store and be like, "Is that red?" Like if my hair weren't red. Like, there's nothing like crazily recognizable about me outside of the hair. So the hair is the reason why that's happened. But it is creepy to have somebody in your complex that. Sorry,
yeah, I ain't trying to experience that.
What about the dominatrix? Didn't you have a dominatrix?
Yeah, I can't even remember exactly how the conversation went, but she was basically saying, "Are you ready to be dominated?" Like starting off the conversation, and she was attractive, so it was like, let me see what this is about. It's like I knew it wasn't gonna go anywhere, but you would give somebody that's more attractive
a lot more leeway.
Yeah, more leeway than you would somebody that is immediately cut off. Nope. Attractive. Let's see what they're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, that's just how we do as people.
That is.
Now, you might start talking to somebody that's less attractive and find out that their personality is vibrant enough for you to keep talking to that person. But initially, our eyes find where we're going to go.
Yep.
You know, and I was entertaining it. I was like, how do you know, how do I need to be dominated? Like, how do you dominate? It was weird. But that ain't even the weirdest to me. The weirdest to me was, so on my profiles, I have that I'm a therapist.
I do too. I did. I had that too.
And so I had this one woman who, the first message she sent me was, "Are you really a therapist?" I said, "Yes, I'm a therapist." And I was saying it like, why would I put it on there if I'm not one? Then I realized where I'm at. I'm in the world of people that lie about shit.
About everything.
So
height. Why do y'all lie about height?
What you mean why?
Because
why is height so important to women?
Because it's weird for you to be taller than a guy. It's weird for me. I can't speak for all women. It is weird for me to be taller than the guy that I'm with. I feel uncomfortable. I feel like the natural balance of the world is off kilter when that happens. So I don't like it. But you lying don't change how tall you fucking are, because then when I meet your ass and I can see the top of your goddamn head, now I'm mad because you lied. You're a liar. You told me you were 6 feet tall. Well, my nigga, you 5'5". What did you ain't nowhere near 6 feet.
Well, to me, that's why, like, I don't know. Well, I know why I don't know why them men tell them stupid ass lies. Why would you say you're taller than you are when you're not? That is easily provable. Like, you can say, I don't have mental health issues. And when they meet you, they can be like, okay, yeah, he's all right.
Because you can fake the funk.
Exactly.
For that. Yeah.
Now, when you come to her house with a tinfoil hat on, your plan is full now. Okay?
Yeah.
But when you say I'm 6'3" and you're goddamn 4'11", that is easily recognizable.
It is.
Don't do that. So I don't know why them dudes tell them stupid ass lies, but I understand the culture that has created a need for men to feel like they want to represent themselves differently.
But here's the thing: if I have an issue with height, which I do, you come in. One, you didn't lie to me off top. We didn't started this shit off with you lying. Two, if I have an issue with your height and you come and you short as fuck, I'm not gonna be like, well, we here now type shit. I'm not doing that because I'm mad that you lied to me.
Somebody will. You might be mad that they lied, but they might have enough redeeming qualities to overlook the shortness. But the thing is, you might have had enough redeeming qualities over your shortness to just be honest up front about being short.
Yep.
Like if you got enough shit because otherwise you ain't got no redeeming qualities and you short, nigga, you need to be better. You already short. You need to do something. You need to get you a new car. You need to get you a good ass job. You need to be friendly and nice. You need to be ready to pay on first dates. You need to be supportive of women's rights and shit. Like, you need to be a good motherfucker if you short and ain't got nothing else to back that up.
Yep.
You can't come up here with no Napoleon complex. Mm-mm. Napoleon was a fucking ruler. Mm-hmm. You just a short nigga, okay?
Yup.
That's just how it goes. And don't lie. Or if you lie long enough for them to love you. And then
you can't lie long enough about height for somebody.
Yes, you can.
How?
You get you some stilts,
nigga.
Wear you some pants. You know, don't put yourself in a position where you gotta get butt naked. Which means you gotta hold off on sex for a little while. But hey, you are trying to live in your lie. You can't do that. You can't put yourself in that position.
Let me tell you something. If you lie to me long enough for me to love you about anything, and then I find out, we got a fucking problem now. Because now I don't trust you. You a lying ass motherfucker and a good ass one. You done kept this lie going for 7 months, nigga. No. At this point, I can't do it. No, I don't trust you. I don't know what else the fuck you lying about. Now I'll be looking for shit like, what else is this nigga lying about?
Well, probably a whole bunch of shit. But he got your ass for a certain period of time.
It's fucked up.
It is. It's fucked up. But I mean, if you're gonna lie, don't do no dumbass one time lie that as soon as y'all meet, it's a wrap.
When you gonna open up your petty shop? Because you just have.
Listen, it's just petty input now. It's free. Send me an email. Send me a message. Mr. On Point, Twitter and Instagram. We'll figure out how you can best be petty. It's free for now. Right? But this girl asked me if I'm really a therapist. Yeah, I'm a therapist. And she continued to tell me about all her problems. And she wasn't ugly, but she wasn't great looking. You know, she was enough to need some redeeming qualities for me to continue talking to. But lo and behold, the first thing I learned from her was that she had mental health issues. So I should have got out of that conversation immediately. But you know what? The inner therapist came out and said, you know what? Maybe this person needs some help. Or what can I learn from this situation as far as online dating go? Let me just keep going. She told me that she was on like 7 medications. She told me they had diagnosed her with bipolar, borderline personality, schizophrenia. She said at any point that she'd been diagnosed with all of them. And I'm like,
does she have all of the personalities?
I don't know what she had. I mean, she just was telling me that she had been diagnosed with these things by different doctors. So I don't know which of them fit. It might be all of them.
None of those are good though.
I know. They ain't that horrible.
Yes.
And I was like, and what I thought, and this changed my whole way of viewing online dating. You know, I was like, you're going to start dating somebody that you don't tell all of this shit, but you're going to have these problems. Like, how long is it going to take for him to find your problems? And from that moment on, I started looking at people on social media in terms of their mental health. I'm like, this profile sounds too good. She got some bullshit with this. Like, this package don't sound right.
Borderline alone. Like, even if she only had borderline personality disorder, that one is fucking...
But it messed me up because I can't look at people regular on there. I'm regular, but it's just so few, you know, that it's like... And then, like, on Plenty of Fish, all I get is the BBBBBWs.
What?
Sending me messages.
The BBBBB.
Yeah, all the B's. That's all I get on Plenty of Fish. And I mean, that's not my style. Big women ain't my thing, you know. But even if a big woman was my thing, it's about how you carry yourself.
It is.
And they on here looking like Cookie Monster, Grimace from goddamn McDonald's. Barney,
I hate you so much.
They weight just ain't carried well. They built like linebackers. I'm sorry if you, for somebody's eyes, I'm not built the way that they want. I'm fine with that. But like, it's like them the ones that's sending me messages.
Oh Lord,
and I'm not that superficial of a person. But
nigga said Cookie Monster.
I'm just saying, if you look like Grimace, if you built like a damn candy corn, we got a problem. I mean, it's a problem for me, okay? But that seems to be all I'm getting messages from. So Plenty of Fish is out, all right? And the thing about Plenty of Fish, if you go click on a profile, they know you've clicked on their profile. Yep. So here they go sending you a message. Because, you know, the first picture that you see is that trap picture.
It is.
It's that picture from a very specific angle with that very specific hairstyle with that very specific outfit that you picked out for a very specific instance. And you said, damn, this would be a good ass trap photo for motherfuckers on social dating websites. It will hide all of my flaws.
I got niggas with gold teeth a lot. And I didn't understand. First of all, I feel like aesthetically, I don't look like somebody that would be fucking with a nigga with gold teeth. And then two, because I had so many niggas with gold teeth send me messages, I specifically in my profile said no gold teeth, none. Then I had niggas sending me, what you got against gold teeth? The fuck difference does it make? Nigga, you got gold fronts. It don't matter why I don't like them. I don't like them. You out. It's out. You out. It don't matter. Like,
what about like people with gold teeth because they had to have some kind of teeth fixture or something?
You can get caps that look like teeth. You don't have to get gold. Gold is a choice. That's an option. You chose that shit. You ain't have to get them gold fronts. No.
True story.
No gold teeth. I can't deal with it. I'm in my 30s and I feel like in your 40s for me, the nigga that I end up with is not gonna be having gold teeth in his mouth. He just ain't.
What about platinum?
No, you gonna have your pearly whites or nothing at all. You don't need no.
What about dentures?
I don't want dentures yet. Shit, the nigga I've been with gonna end up with dentures later on in life. I don't want them right now.
They might have had a teeth situation where it was just easier for them to just knock all their teeth out and get dentures.
I don't want to be laying next to your teeth in a cup at night.
So what if you don't know? What if he
I
hide it?
feel like dentures, you could tell when somebody got dentures. They look like dentures. Like, they're terrible. Dentures look horrible. They look like fucking piano keys. Like, you could, I don't know, I feel, and they too straight. You know, your teeth have different ends at, you know, the end look. Dentures just be straight the fuck across. I feel like I would know if you had dentures. Like, I think.
True story.
So, yeah, gold teeth. But I so many niggas would go either gold teeth or like pictures with them smoking blunts. Like, you can see us together, nigga. Really, you think we would be a great couple? Come on, son.
Well, I mean, what are they supposed to see about you that when they accept that?
I don't fucking know. Like, the fact that, one, I'm a therapist. I have that on my profile. I guess maybe there are some therapists out here with niggas that smoke weed and got gold fronts. I'm not going to take you to the office Christmas party with gold fronts smelling of weed, though. I just ain't going to do that. Not going to happen. Like, I don't know. Like... I just feel like it's a very particular type of woman that would want that. And I don't feel like I look like that.
The thing that bothers me is like, not necessarily, I guess, if your hair looks stupid, like, clearly you're not investing in your hair, we got a situation. Like, I like natural hair, but if you like, got all your pictures got like horrible looking sew-ins in it, like that's like, I'm like, no. Or if you got like grandma wigs on,
oh Lord,
in all your pictures, I'm not saying that they don't look all right
on grandmas.
I mean, just for whatever reason women choose to wear wigs.
I mean,
that's fine.
I wear my hair, I don't know.
But your choice of wig, like, my grandma got wigs. If your wigs remind me of my grandma wigs, we got a situation.
Yeah, that's not good. So,
on Tinder, I match once every 2 months with somebody. Like, I just feel like I don't know what it looked like to swipe over the men's side, but I imagine it's a bunch of dudes with their shirts up like Tyrese or Trey Songz, like, and by comparison, I'm a big dude, bald headed. By comparison, I'm already gone. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they swiping by me like that. I mean, if Tinder's supposed to be the hookup site, I ain't the one.
But when I see them kind of pictures, I always question, is this really this nigga? Like, sometimes it's just like, because like a lot of times they'll only have that one picture, and it's like, that ain't you, nigga. That's not you. Or I don't think that you 38 years old, I don't know that you should be online taking pictures with your shirt off and with your like, come on, you too old for that. Like, I just feel like you ain't mature. Well,
on the male side of Tinder, if you're a black male, one, if you live in Alabama in this area that I'm in, it's gonna be 20 white girls before you find a black girl. Okay. And I don't swipe right on white girls because half of the profiles are fake.
Yeah.
You'll swipe right, it'll say, hey, how are you doing? These bots are getting very, very, hype. Because they'll be like, hey, how you doing? I'm all right. What time do you get off of work? You want to hang out? Not really. Because I have a busy day all day. I got a meeting. This is what I told the last time. Like, I have a meeting today. Like, I don't have time. They're like, well, do you want to hang out? I was like, no, I don't have time. How far do you live from me? I was like, I don't know where you live. And then they put an address from like Leeds.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. And it was like, I don't like using this app. Let's use here, click this link so that we can see each other on video. And I'm like, this was a waste of time. But I did it just to see because I knew it was fake. You could tell some of the people. But
I've never had that happen.
And this is the offensive part. They only use white girls Asian girls, Filipino type looking girls, Latino.
Not no black women.
They only use them for the fake profiles.
It's fucked up.
There are rarely ever any of the black girls that are fake profiles. They real, you know. But so it's just a waste of time. I spent 10 minutes swiping and find 3 black girls, and one of them was built like a linebacker. One of them was built like Grimace, and the other one I know ain't finna, swipe back on me. So it's all just become a waste of time for me. OkCupid has changed their format to a Tinder format. You used to be able to go through all of their profiles and just read and then send messages. Well, now you got to match on the person for it. And OkCupid got to be a sorrier version of Tinder. But with people with more mental health issues. So that's the website the woman with the mental health issues had sent me a message. Also, I ran across a profile on OkCupid with this girl who was into cat play. Like in all her pictures, she had like ears on her head like she was a cat, and she was explaining what cat play was, and it was just her pretending to be a cat during sexual play. I don't know. It was weird. I was like, I went and looked that shit up. It's a thing. People do that shit. They dress up like cats. They get tails. They just pretend to be a cat the whole time.
What the fuck is the point of that? How do you get? What kind of experience would trigger a want to do cat play? Like what would have happened that would have made you be that fucking into cats? That
probably having a male and a female cat when you was a kid, didn't know nothing about sex, seeing them fucking all the time.
But you don't see cats fucking.
Yes,
cats,
you do.
No, I thought they like go and hide and be in bushes. Like you don't see that shit, do you?
Yes, you do.
I thought they were more private than that's what dogs do.
It's horrible because it's like rape. I mean, it's just animals don't have consent clearly. And I had a cat that hated the male cat, and the male cat would just do his thing whenever he wanted to. I was like, we need to get rid of this big ass, mean ass, fucked up ass cat. But no, they don't do shit. They just.
I thought they hid. Okay.
But
they
there's
hide
something.
when they poop.
No, they don't. They go to the litter box.
I'm saying, but like.
I mean, they hide they poop if they can.
But they fuck in front of people? That's so weird.
They do everything in front of people. They animals.
I think they were more private than dogs. Where did I get that from?
I have no idea. Where did you get it from?
I don't know.
I mean, in a small house, it's only so many fucking places you can go.
Maybe I'm thinking more like stray cats, not like pets.
Yeah. But I don't. But the weirdest part to me is that you got to find somebody who is okay with pretending to fuck a cat. That's the weird part to me. Like,
that's like, what is it? Furrying? The people that dress up in the full on fucking costumes, the mascot type costumes. Have you ever heard of this? It's like,
I've heard of it, but I didn't know the term for it.
I think it's fur. It's something with fur. Furrying. Yeah. They dress up like mascots to have sex. Ain't that hot? I just don't understand. I don't get a lot of these fetish ass things. Like, it don't make no sense to me. I don't understand.
I feel like in my future relationship, I'm gonna do some fetish ass things just to try something new. But it's gonna be like, we both gonna be like, nah, that was weird. We ain't doing that shit no more. Or I'm not into this shit. Like, we need to cut this shit out. We need to go watch a movie and clear our palates of this shit we just tried to do. Cause that wasn't it. Like, I don't know, but I'm not gonna go into no relationship with no strong ass. I need this kind of fetish.
I gotta be a cat.
Shit going
I have
on.
to be a cat.
Yeah, it ain't that don't exist for me, and I'm grateful for that. So, those of you who have fetishes, don't be ashamed of them. Just don't trick the people that you finna be in a relationship with into some bullshit that they gotta be complicit with because they care about you now.
They just come home and you dress like a fucking cat in this bitch. Like,
exactly.
What the fuck is you doing?
And what if it even get weirder than that? Like, what if motherfucker want to dress like an elephant or something? like, what the fuck are you doing? Take that shit off. It's gonna ruin a relationship.
Oh, Lord.
don't know. A part of me say maybe you need to be upfront with that shit. Like,
yeah,
I know I gave you. I talk shit about lying for as long as you can, but realistically, you really probably need to just say that shit up front. If you like being pegged, go for it up front. You'll find somebody who like doing it.
Probably some specialized. These are very specialized things. I feel like ain't no dating sites for people that like to be cats or like do furrying. I feel like there has to be like some special.
It's probably a Reddit for that shit. You can probably find a Reddit for that.
Yeah. For
everything that exists, there's probably a Reddit for it because people create that shit. But I mean, people want to have regular people do some of this shit. Like, we can't both be cats, motherfucker.
Is that like bestiality if you ain't a cat and she is a cat?
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna have to pretend to be a fucking cat now, just not to feel weird. I'm gonna be out here meow, just so I don't feel weird about the situation. I ain't gonna be regular me.
Why your meows?
because I'm not a cat. I'm a fucking leopard or something. I'm a lion.
Oh shit!
Well, they roar. They don't meow.
They don't meow.
Well, when they little bitty motherfuckers.
They still don't meow, do they? It's little roars. It's little baby roars.
I ain't been around no little bitty savage ass beast to find out.
I don't know. I don't know how we got here.
We always get here. I'm still on online dating shit. I think it's an effective way to find people, but you need a filter. You need to figure out how to rule out certain people in that world.
Be ready to go through a lot of bullshit. Like, don't think you gonna get on there and get this plethora of like potentials. You have to work for them potentials by weeding through all of the bullshit. Like, it's a lot of craziness.
Listen, the thing about social media, social dating sites is that it's already a watered down as easier version of meeting people. If you can't get somebody to be the best motherfucking person can be on a watered down ass version of a thing that you're supposed to have to put more effort into, then you don't need to fuck with that person.
Nope.
If they can't put more energy into being a good ass person, telling the truth, letting you know up front what's going on, if they can't put the energy into that shit, you already getting a pass with using this easy to meet people as method of communication. You got to be a good motherfucker on that shit. Too many people lie. So I'm not saying I'm not telling the people who lie to stop lying. I'm telling the people who fall for the lies, quit falling for that shit, because it'll automatically make people stop lying. If you lying and you fucking 4'11", if you lying talking about you 6'3", don't do that. That's just stupid. All right. She gonna see you and it's over.
Yep.
You know?
I'm gonna see you from a distance and be like, "Hey, I ain't even gonna come in the restaurant. I'm gonna see your feet dangling from the goddamn bar stool, and I'm just gonna turn the fuck around and walk away. I ain't even finna come in here because you lying. I don't feel like I owe you anything at this point."
Then you gonna be mad. You gonna be mad because you didn't prepare her for your dangling ass feet.
Nobody got time for that shit.
Look, man, if you want to, it's some women out there that would love, to pick you up for that hug. And that would love to burp you after y'all get through with a lovely, wonderful meal.
Hate you so much.
There's women out there that love that. Look, find you an Amazonian. Find you a 6'5" woman. She'll take you on.
That shit'll look so fucking like you out with your child. That shit is just weird. I don't ask for a lot, but you need to at least be my height. I would like for you to be taller than me. But you know what? I'm like 5'7", almost 5'8". I can deal with that. What you can't do is be like shorter than me. I just can't. I've dated somebody that was shorter than me, because I'm trying to I'll get past it. I couldn't get past it. It's fucking weird. I don't like it. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. It's about me. It ain't even about them. It's about my discomfort with walking around with somebody that could be my son. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's weird.
I talked to a girl when I was in undergrad that was so little. I couldn't do it. It was like she was a kid. That's how little she was. I was like, I can't do this. Like, I mean, clearly that's not a problem for some people. Some do. I mean, there's a lot of women that are just tiny, but to be short and very petite, like, it's psychologically. I hadn't met nobody like that since then, but psychologically, it was a problem for me.
Too much. Deal with what you can deal with. Because people kept trying to make me feel bad and are you gonna miss your blessing? And Jesus know me and Jesus know what I need and what I can deal with. So if give me my blessing in the form of somebody that's 5'11", I don't know where the miscommunication happened there, Lord. But Jesus knows. Like, everybody kept trying to act like this one, me having this, I don't want you to be 4'11". Oh, I'ma miss out on the man I'm supposed to be with. He obviously ain't the man I'm supposed to be with.
Who
if
does
he's
criticism
4'11".
come from?
Women.
The same women that don't like short men themselves?
Usually what it is, usually it's women who are already in relationships. I got into an argument with one of my coworkers this past week because this bitch gonna tell me. She was like, I had this client come in. Now, off the rip, the fact that this is somebody coming for our services is a problem. Already. That automatically means that this is a no-go. Then she started telling me, now keep in mind, back to what we said about if you're attractive, you get a lot more leeway. Apparently he was attractive. I didn't see him. This is why, that was the reason why she was willing to let all of this shit pass. But this bitch is talking about this nigga was a dope boy. Served time for being a dope boy, so he got a felony on his record. But he owns his own company. He fucking has to. What job he gonna get with this felony on his goddamn record? A lot of them get out and start their own business because it's hard for them to find a job. This nigga got 3 kids, 2 of whom he has custody of. One of whom he owed back child support on, which is why he was even coming to see her in the first place. And you in my face caping for this nigga that you just met with all of this shit talking about, but you can't be so picky. Bitch, this ain't about being picky. This is about him being a horrible show. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? Like, well, if I wasn't, no, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. I would talk to him, but you know, I just got married. Yes, you got married to a nigga that's in med school. Do you know how far away that is from an ex-dope boy? The fuck out of my face with this bullshit. People in relationships love to be trying to set you up with bullshit sometimes just because they want you to be with somebody. I'm not finna do that. That's stupid. The fuck out of my face. So a lot of times it's women in relationships that are like, I mean, he's short. That shouldn't be such a big deal. Maybe it's not a big. Your husband is a whole fucking 2 feet taller than you, but you in my face trying to tell me to date this short ass nigga. The fuck away from me. Trying to tell me what to do. Can't stand that shit. So deal with what you could deal with, people. Be with what you could be comfortable with. If some shit make you uncomfortable, if you don't like short dudes and you tall, that is okay.
And if you don't like women that shaped like gumdrops,
I fucking hate you.
That's all right. That's okay. Deal with what you can deal with it. You're going to find yourself in a situation later.
Exactly. You're going to be mad that you with a gumdrop ass straight bitch. When you chose to be there, you knew you didn't like that shit from jump. Just be with who you comfortable being with and fuck what everybody else got to say. Because people love to tell you what you need to do and then they going home to some bullshit themselves. They just want you to be like them. The fuck oh my face. So I guess that's enough of that. If you have a question you would like for us to answer on air, you can send it into the website or you can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationcarartist with an s at gmail.com. You want to talk about young Christopher?
Let's do it.
So Christopher Brown apparently snorts coke and drinks lean and pop Molly. Like, who the fuck didn't know this shit?
Water is wet.
Like, basically, and water is wet news.
Oxygen helps us live.
Like, all of the, who the fuck didn't know this nigga was on a plethora of different drugs? Like, they making this like it's breaking news or some shit. Breaking news would be if he passed the drug test and was found to be completely clean and that he just had mental health issues and it wasn't drug related. That's breaking news. The fact that this nigga do coke, he looked like Skeletor. He done lost all kinds of goddamn weight. Of course he on some hard drugs. Like, who's surprised by this?
I miss the old Chris Brown. The first and second album, Chris Brown.
Yeah, he ain't been that guy in a
ass Chris Brown.
He ain't been that dude in a long time. Like, Chris obviously is suffering from heavy drug use. Probably that he was self-medicating mental illness with. Like, he obviously is and people was talking shit about Karuchi last week before last, because she put a restraining order out on this nigga. But if a nigga telling you I'm gonna kill you and he got the means to do it, I would probably get a restraint. This nigga showed up to a club that she was at trying to force her to I mean, I think a restraining order is valid in this situation. And I'm not even a Kawasaki fan, because I was making mad fun of her name the whole time that relationship was going on. So I'm not even a fan, but damn, y'all know Chris is crazy. You would probably want to get a fucking restraining order against his crazy ass too. Then he was threatening her friend because her friend was talking shit about him. Like, Chris is crazy, obviously. And anybody who doubted that he was on drugs is either naive as fuck or stupid as hell.
Chris Brown is on drugs.
Definitely on drugs. And now he talking about it's a snitch in his crew, and nigga, everybody, I don't even have to talk to nobody in your crew. I'm looking at you, nigga. You look like you just snorted a line or two. Like, I don't need nobody to tell me this. Like, I'm looking at you. I can see it.
Like, quit being mad. Don't say it's a snitch in my crew. Anytime you say there's a snitch, it automatically means that it validates whatever they said.
It's true, because they told the truth. They snitching and you upset about it. Like
if they said Chris Brown always walk around with a balloon in his hand, you wouldn't be saying it's a snitch in my crew.
You gonna be like, oh no the fuck I don't.
Exactly.
When you ever seen me with a balloon in my head? Like, you gonna deny it, not it's a snitch. Like, obviously Chris is on drugs.
They told the truth about some shit. And Chris Brown know it was the truth.
Yeah. Chris just, he needs some help, and I don't know that he's gonna get it, sadly, because I won't even say he's surrounded. I feel like Kanye West is surrounded by yes men. I don't know that Chris is surrounded by yes men. I just feel like anybody who says some shit he don't like, he fucking threaten them or punch them, and then they just be like, fuck it, Chris, do what you want to do. Like, I feel like he just ain't in a space right now to listen, and he don't really have to, because his money isn't really being negatively impacted by this.
You know, this goes into a little different point. I've always wondered, like, when you watch them movies with the big bad drug dealers and they got all of these dudes, these yes men around who just scared and terrified of them, like, I feel like I would fuck that person up or remove myself from that situation where I'd feel threatened. Like,
yeah.
But the movie that has encompassed every bit of what I always want to happen in them situations is Four Brothers. I don't know if you remember that movie.
Oh yeah, with Mark Wahlberg and Andre 3000.
Channel Ejiofor, however you say his name.
Yeah,
he was Victor Sweet in that, and he was a mean motherfucker. Like, he made them dudes eat off the floor. Like, he knocked their food on the floor and said, "You wanna act like a dog? Eat like a dog." He made them eat off the floor like his cronies.
Yeah.
And if you hadn't seen fucking Four Brothers, spoiler alert, you should have seen that shit.
That shit's so old.
But at the end of the movie, all his cronies turn on him because the brothers raising up enough money to pay them dudes out. You know, and they pretty much beat his ass and kill him and bury his ass up under a frozen lake. Like, but I always like, if Chris Brown, if I was in his crew.
But I feel like that's what happened with him. They removed themselves from it, and that's why it's not that he's surrounded by yes men. I think the people who would say some shit, he done ran them out. With Kanye, I feel like Kanye is surrounded by yes men, and I don't think it's because they threaten him. I think it's because they just want to be connected to Kanye West. So however I need to stay around, I'm gonna stay around. So yeah, you know what, Kanye? Yep, that show look good. Them sweatpants with the holes in it. Sure, $3,000. Sure.
Fuck that. I will wiretap everything in this man's house. I will put recordings up everywhere. I'll put hidden cameras in the teddy bears in his goddamn bedroom. I'm going, in 3-4 years, I'm gonna have enough shit to get half of their fortune.
You back on that petty shit though.
I'm just saying, Kanye West got a cousin that stole his laptop that had some sex tapes on it, apparently. If the shit he's saying his songs are true, he had to pay that motherfucker to get it back. Like, I wouldn't do that to my family, but if I was just a nigga in your entourage and you did me wrong, nigga, I'm getting some of your fortune before this shit is over.
Yeah, and I mean, I think some of them do that, but some people just so fame hungry that, like, even just being able to be mentioned in the same sentence as Kanye, that's enough payment for them. They cool with that. Or being able to get into parties because you with him and you part of his entourage, that's enough for them. So you just gonna keep kissing his ass and telling him all of this bullshit is a good idea. I think Kanye's is more people just wanting to like hang on to his coattail, and Chris, I feel like it's more like probably fear. He probably the nigga that got fear in the hearts of the people around him. But I think Kanye people just want to drag along with his fame, and so they just be like, sure, Kanye, yeah, that's a great idea, why not? So I don't know, but yeah, Chris,
you can't treat these dudes too bad.
No, you can't.
They better sprinkle some AIDS in your tea.
Or gave you some bad in his case, it'd be real easy to fuck him up, give him some bad drugs. You know how that would be you gonna get away with that shit because everybody just gonna assume the nigga overdose.
You get they fine cousin to come to a party and poke holes in all his condoms. We getting the family rich, girl. Come on over to Chris' party tonight. His next paycheck, like royalty. The fuck they named that child that? That is terrible. That is a terrible name. You know, these celebrities don't do nothing but have a fucking naming my kids on special competition. I know, but royalty for Chris Brown's daughter. Fucking Erykah Badu got a kid named fucking, what they name? 6, 7? 7. But royalty, I just feel like she already just a check to the mom, and then her name royalty. That's just kind of fun. She's a royalty check, essentially. Like her mama gonna be entitled to all his royalties for the next 18 years anyway, because he got to pay that damn child support. I just feel like that was an unfortunate name given the particular situation. You might as well not how to name her child supporter, like paycheck, or I don't know. Royalty just was not an unfortunate name choice for this situation, I feel like. But yeah, Christopher is just, when y'all name y'all kids, think about what your kid will have to suffer through with that name, okay? Just think about the kids for a minute. Get outside of yourself. Is this a name that you feel like your child will enjoy having? Yeah. And they not going to be children forever. Keep that in mind. They going to be grown people with grown people bills and grown people jobs. And they don't need a name that's going to be able to take them throughout their whole lives. A lot of the folks be looking at names and be like, oh, it's so cute for her. It ain't going to be so cute when she 40 though, walking around with this fucked up ass name that you gave her. That she not going to be a baby forever. They grow up. That's what the fuck they do. Wonder why she want to be called T. Goddamn. Because the first fucking whole part of her name ain't shit to her. Or it be shit that she can't spell. Like, and you give them these long ass names that they having trouble in kindergarten because Jane and Johnny and Jennifer over here learn how to spell their damn name, and she's still having trouble because you done gave her this made up ass name that's just a garble of letters and vowels and shit. Stop doing that to these kids. Life is hard enough already. Damn, give them as much of a head start as you can give your child with the way that the world is now. I feel like you should do that. And naming them these fucked up names is not a head start, because no matter how much you feel like you should be able to name your child whatever they want to and it shouldn't have a negative impact on their life, that shit is not true. It's just not. You can't be naming them these crazy names and then get mad when they having trouble finding jobs and shit. It's because of you, bitch. Like, they resume look crazy as fuck because it's got this shit that the employer can't pronounce. And if it's them against 5 other people with the same credentials, guess who's gonna get the call? It ain't gonna be, you know, well, I don't want to make up a name and it be somebody's name. You know what I'm saying? So let me just be careful. But you know, you're up against a lot of people with the same kind of what am I thinking of? When you're looking for a job and they have, all of the candidates have the same education, they have the same experience. If it's gonna come down between just choosing who you want to go with, you're gonna probably go with somebody with a simpler ass name, so that you're not having to try to figure out how to say this fucking name. Your clients ain't having to try to figure out how to say this fucking name. Like, just give your kids a head start in life, please. And from corporate America's perspective, they're going to connect that name to professionalism or perceived professionalism. Like other companies that would look at this company, how they would hire someone with this name, it might influence business. That's how people be looking at shit. It's unfortunate, but
it's the way it is, and you just naming the child that anyway ain't gonna change the system. Now you just done put the child on the outside of the system, on the wrong side of it, and they gonna have trouble now. Cause I had a friend that, like, we had a whole argument about his child name, and he talking about, well, I can name what he want to. You sure can? Yep, you can. It ain't gonna change it. You naming him this stupid ass name, he just gonna have trouble now in life. You trying to show them, I'ma show them. Okay, they gonna show you. Is what's gonna happen.
Or my suggestion, give them a whatever you want their first name to be, a regular ass middle name, and let them choose what they want to use in that shit. And don't give y'all kids no crazy ass nicknames and calling them shit like poop poop when they little. And little doo-doo. Like, they be trying to think them old nasty ass names is cute. When somebody is 12 years old and bring their friend over there and you call him little doo-doo when he get in the house, he gonna be ready to cuss your ass out.
As he should.
Mama, I told you not to call me that when my friends is around.
Now he gotta go to school and get bullied and shit.
Exactly.
You can't hit his...
Or he ain't gonna get bullied, but he gonna whoop everybody's ass and get expelled at some point.
Then you gonna have an attitude to be mad.
It all started when you call him little doodle in front of his friends.
Yep.
Have some consideration for
Just
your kids,
please.
people.
Yes.
They're people.
They are.
Not pets.
Nope. Hell, I gave my dogs better names than some people give their damn kids.
You name your dog after some liquor.
I didn't name Remy. His name was already Remy, but I liked it and I kept it.
You named Kingston after Jamaicans.
No, I had a dream, and in the dream I had a dog named Kingston, and that was all I could remember about the dream. So I was like, when I get a dog, I'm gonna name him Kingston.
I don't know, when I think of Kingston, I think of Jamaica.
Everybody do, and when I tell him that's his name, like, oh, like Jamaica? No. It ain't got shit to do with Jamaica.
You should name animals animal names.
What's the animal name?
Like
Spot.
Nouns and verbs. Like, yeah, Spot.
There's always so many of them names though. You be running around the dog park, everybody
Play.
be like Spot, and everybody come running.
I wanted a cat and a dog
Kid
to
and
live
Play.
in harmony, named Kid and Play. Yep, that's what I wanted. That shit ain't gonna work out because I'm allergic to cats now, but whatever.
I don't know why you like cats anyway, but neither here nor there. What's your first story?
Last week, Trump gave his address to Congress, first address to Congress, in which it was supposed to be the most politically correct thing he can do. They didn't give him very much room to veer off into his own dialogue, which he did like once or twice. It was very well written for Donald Trump. It was clearly written for him. I had a really, really, really big problem with how he tried to play America in that situation.
It didn't work very long because shortly after that, the shit with Sessions came out, so it was short-lived.
Donald Trump is striking up like a mass fear as it pertains to immigrants, specifically illegal immigrants, and I'm feeling like it's Muslim or Latino. And he cherry-picked two families that had a family member killed by an immigrant, and both of those families were brown families. He didn't choose white families. He chose brown families that had a family member injured by an immigrant. It's two instances of that. He's trying to spread. This whole speech was written to cater to every executive order he's written, every bit of dialogue that he's had. It was all written to make all of that shit make sense. And it's problematic because he cherry picked those groups. There's 7 transgender people have been killed this year. And right now, according to research, it looks like transgender individuals in the black community have an average life expectancy of 35.
God damn.
Jewish people have been killed,
Yep.
or these Jewish communities have been attacked.
desecrating burial grounds and stuff.
All of this different shit that's going on, but he want to cherry pick the violence that caters to his dialogue about immigrants.
Yep.
There is tons of violence going on. And I just need America to fucking see through that shit. I know hardcore ass fucking conservatives ain't gonna see through it, but y'all need to see that his division tactics when it comes to the people are to cherry pick instances that caters to his dialogue.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing about illegal immigration and about stop and frisk, because some senator or somebody said that stop and frisk need to be introduced into Chicago.
Didn't Giuliani want it? Was it Giuliani?
I don't think it was Giuliani. It was like,
I mean, not like recently.
Well, he was the one that sparked it in New York City.
Yeah,
he was supported in New York City.
Yeah.
And I saw an interview with Eric Guster. He is from Birmingham. He's a lawyer from Birmingham. He's a political analyst on some of these shows. Mm-hmm. She said, shouldn't stop and frisk be introduced? And his counter argument was, well, stop and frisk should be introduced for people who live in the suburbs who are binging on opiates. Like, if you're just looking for people that might be doing crimes to do crimes, you should do it on this side and that side.
Yep.
Don't just cater it to this population. And she said, well, what about the people that want to be safe? Let me tell y'all something about these arguments. If you're an American citizen and if you believe in freedom and you value freedom, the question ain't who do we keep safe? The question is, can we cherry pick whose American rights to violate?
Yeah.
Because the problem ain't when the police find somebody who got drugs on them. It's when they don't find somebody with drugs on them that's an American citizen that had their rights violated because they look like a certain type of person.
Yep.
That's the argument. We can't submit to having any of our American rights violated just because we live in an area that might be bad. Police have specific ways how they supposed to resolve crime, how they supposed to stop it, and how they supposed to figure it out. They need to figure out how to do that shit. They don't need to have a widespread mass search of everybody that might be doing crime, because that's going to influence the rights of American citizens that ain't doing shit.
Yep.
Because I will be mad as fuck if I'm in a community where it's a bunch of black people that's doing shit and I don't do shit and they feel like they need to search me. So the world can tell me, well, if you didn't have nothing, you shouldn't have nothing to worry about. If they came to do that shit in the suburbs, it'll be lawyers, judges, and everybody blocking any police from being able to come into anybody's house. So that shit ain't right. It ain't right with stop and frisk in them kind of communities, and it ain't right with immigration. It ain't right because the only thing that you can use to see another culture is your eyes. And that's what police gonna see. They gonna see somebody with a hijab on. They gonna see somebody who is Latino. And they gonna wonder, is that person illegal or illegal? And the problem is, if they're a legal citizen, their rights were just violated.
Yep.
To me, if you got stopped and frisked and you didn't have nothing going on, you should be able to sue the fuck out of them. If you're a Latino and you're an American citizen and they do something that's close to detaining you, you need to be able to sue the fuck out of the government. And if you are Muslim in this country and you are a legal citizen, which can practice religion freely as you choose, and something happens in which you're detained because they think you might not be legal, you need to goddamn be able to sue. Because that's the problem with all that shit. How many American citizens' rights are we willing to infringe upon? And white people who are in full support of this shit are okay because they don't look like nothing that's going to get stopped and frisked.
It's not going to impact them at all. Yeah.
They don't look like that. They have a pass. Their skin is the prerequisite to be able to get a pass on all the bullshit that brown people in this country is and has been going through and will fucking go through in the future. This extra shit Donald Trump is doing don't have to be that. That was my first critique of that fucking address to Congress. Mm-hmm. That's bullshit. The second one was using the Marine that just died wife for leverage to his dialogue. He died 2 days before that motherfucking Congress address. Mm-hmm. And he put her on blast in front of everybody and used his grief to her benefit.
Her grief to his benefit.
Her grief to his benefit. That shit was so fucked up. Like, that's all I gotta say. Like, that shit was so fucked. And not only that, but he blamed the military generals for the shit. He's the commander in chief.
Yep.
You know, this the same shit that happened with Benghazi. Hillary Clinton didn't call the shot. The motherfucker over in Benghazi called a shot, but the conservatives blame Hillary Clinton because, boom, she just happened to be the Secretary of State that's overseeing all of this shit.
Yeah.
Well, why the fuck did Donald Trump get a pass on this fucking mission that got this man killed that he's talking about? We got wonderful, great information from. Where is it?
Where everything
I don't really expect them to tell us what it is, but with Donald Trump's track record now, I don't expect it to really be significant
or
either.
exist at all, really. I mean, he lies so much.
Yeah, I mean, what president? I mean, Barack Obama wouldn't say it was a failed mission. We didn't get shit.
Yeah,
he wouldn't say that. Bush wouldn't say that. No smart president would say this turned out to be bad. It's just in the people's best interest for any president to say that, you know, we got good information. But this is the first time that I've questioned whether it's actually true or not with Donald Trump. Just because his track record is showing he would do anything to maintain the integrity of his office.
Yep.
Even lie.
Especially
manipulate
lie.
Documents.
Especially.
He done came up talking about Barack Obama wiretap Trump towers
so sick
when
of
he
him.
was the president. What the fuck? Why would he do that?
Trump just...
He tried to equate that shit to Watergate with Nixon.
Oh yeah, I saw that shit.
Like, who the fuck starts to talk about scandals of a president if they were to exist after them motherfuckers is out the presidency?
Why are they still letting him fucking tweet stuff? Like, he just...
This shit don't, you know... The problem ain't like, for me, ain't emotional. The problem for me is logical and rational. Like, this shit don't make sense. A lot of the shit he doing just don't make sense.
Nope.
And I mean, it's been a lot of presidents that I didn't agree with that did shit that still made sense. Listen, I ain't agree with George Bush worth a damn. But he at least listened to the motherfuckers around him telling him that this shit you doing ain't gonna make sense. So do it this way. Donald Trump is just an unfiltered, I don't give a fuck what nobody say.
I'm gonna do what I want to.
Exactly. It's just making us look stupid as Americans.
Yup.
It's making us look stupid.
It does.
But I've decided to update once a month on Donald Trump and Trump related things. And I'm gonna try to make that the first week of every month of the podcast, because I really don't want to be talking about Donald Trump shit every week.
And you would be if you, because he do something every week.
He always doing some shit, so I don't want to talk about that shit every week. But that address, like how he used the families, and then how he used, you know, that
The
woman
widow.
husband death, like it's just, it was really problematic. And I watched that shit, and I was like, I don't know why I did it to myself. Like, I felt like I was a glutton for
I
punishment.
didn't watch that shit.
But I wanted to see what he was finna talk about. I mean, at this point, I'm looking for entertainment value. I'm looking for him to say some shit that's stupid. But his best entertainment come from tweets.
Yeah.
It don't come when he talk.
Because it's the most unfiltered. I feel like.
It's also alleged that the information he got came from Breitbart articles.
Of course
about
it did.
President Obama.
I'm sure it did. Because
Like,
he loves Breitbart and they...
But it's crazy to have so many critiques on media because they making all these false claims, fake news.
Oh,
they don't even have any sources. I think they need to tell who their sources are. Who your fucking sources for this shit?
Breitbart?
You know what I'm saying?
Never
Like,
be a source.
like the hypocrisy, the immediate hypocrisy right there. It's just problematic to me. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about a couple more shits since it all go into politics.
Okay.
But Betsy DeVos,
That bitch.
all of the HBCU presidents came to the White House last week, and nobody really talked about them being there. They talked about Kellyanne Conway having her fucking feet on the couch. All right,
fuck your couch, nigga. Fuck your
exactly.
couch.
Like, okay. Beside that, that's his own shit. All of these HBCU presidents said, like, Spelman president came out and said they got played.
Yeah.
That shit was just a photo op for President
Of course.
Trump.
Who thought it was gonna be more than that?
Exactly.
Why would you think at this point that this motherfucker really wants to meet with y'all about some serious we gonna help you shit?
The thing is, he's supposed to be signing an executive order. Well, he signed an executive order for HBCUs. What it did was it took the responsibility of the HBCUs out of the Department of Education and put it into the presidential office. which supposed to mean that he attends the meetings regarding those things, and he's more in tune and inclined to be able to write legislation on that stuff.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think he's going to do that.
No.
And they got an agenda that was supposed to give everybody 15 to 20 minutes to talk about what their school needed and what their school can do. And when they got there, they changed the venue to the Oval Office, which they knew they weren't going to be able to speak for all of them people.
Yep.
And they took a picture, and about 5 of them got to speak for 3 or 4 minutes.
Yep.
So it was a situation where it was a smoke screen. Yeah. It was literally, hey, y'all are going to get all of this. Come on. And when they got there, our plans have changed. And like, it's the White House. When plans change, they just change.
Yep.
You know, you can't make a big fuss. You just got to go along with it. And so, one, I don't think that executive order going to do shit. Mm-mm. 2, Betsy DeVos called HBCUs the pioneers of school choice.
Let me just, again, how out of touch this bitch is. To think that black people were just like, you know what? I don't know. Harvard and Yale, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe we should just open our own schools. Like, maybe we should just, so we can control the educational value of the teachers. They had to create them goddamn schools because they want getting into the like. You can't be that stupid. How can you be that stupid?
Let me try my best to throw Betsy DeVos a bone.
Okay.
All right.
I can't wait to see this.
What if she's talking about today? What if she's talking about the choice to attend black HBCU schools? Didn't have to say black, but HBCUs today over white universities. What if that's what she meant?
Is that what you think she meant?
To be honest, if that is what she meant, it still paints PWIs as the norm. You know what I'm saying? It's making it seem as if you're choosing to go to a HBCU because you just want to make that choice. I mean, like, why does it have to be isolated as special? Even if that's what she meant. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest, no, I don't think that's what she meant. All right? I just wanted to point out, and even if she did mean that, it's offensive, you know, to isolate HBCUs to a choice that black people make, you know, just because. And not really understanding the history behind why. And now white people probably definitely don't understand why black people choose to go to HBCUs today. Like, I went to a prominent university in this state that was riddled with racism, in which I experienced a ton of racist shit that built onto my character as a person, and I feel like made me a much better individual than I could be in the face of racism. But it also created the person that felt that somebody needed to challenge it, because this shit is going on unchecked in so many different environments. I went to a school like that, and when I went to my second university, which I flunked out of that one, went to my second university, and it was close to a HBCU, you know, and I would go over there, and it was something enthralling about being around all of that blackness, having never been in it in my whole life. Yeah. You know, not enough for me to go. Like, I didn't choose to go to that school to any HBCU for various reasons, but being in that environment, I felt, you know, like I belonged there, which I didn't even feel like I belonged at, you know, my second university. For real. It was more black people than the university I went to, but so I bet a lot of white people still don't understand, but there is a very strong curriculum in HBCUs that, you know, help black people understand their history. And it's a lot of black people that really, really, really are in tune with their history and want to know more about their history than a white university, their white high school, or any other means will give them.
She just trying to set the groundwork for this charter school shit about choice and That's all that was just trying to set the groundwork.
She could have did that shit in plenty of different ways than to use HBCUs for that shit. She used that moment.
She just thought it was a good moment to do it because she's stupid and she doesn't realize the things that she says are offensive or don't make any sense. You know, she just is a horrible choice. I've said this before for Secretary of Education. She's an idiot. And she has no experience with education outside of all the money she spent to send her own kids and the money that was spent to send her. Like, she don't have experience with Pell Grant. She don't have experience with nothing that would justify her being Secretary of Education. She don't understand how any of this stuff works. And I don't think she wants to understand how any of it works. She wants to push her own agenda, which includes charter schools. And that's that.
It's not going to play out the way that these conservatives think it is, but they're going to frame it as if it is. They're going to cherry pick the people that got the most voucher money, who are doing the best, and make it sound like it's good. But this is going to make it a lot harder for poor communities and the poor marginalized groups to get access to education, because they ain't finna pay for people who ain't got nothing to have something. That's just not how the system works.
Nope.
The last thing is, and I'm gonna make this real quick and real short. Jeff Sessions ain't shit. All right, that's it. I'm done. What you got?
Are you gonna tell them why he ain't shit? Okay, I don't know how you could have missed what has happened.
Jeff Sessions is from Alabama, from this state. Guy. He's painted himself as a civil rights leader and someone that's been advocating for civil rights.
Which is laughable.
Very laughable, because as soon as he got voted in, he wants to start using private prisons, which, you know, the previous administration was stopping using private prisons. He wants to use private prisons. He has halted a voting rights lawsuit in Texas. He's just making moves that go against rights that help people that are marginalized. Yeah. And I think a part of what people like Jeff Sessions, old white people, I think one part of what they look at is, and not just that, but people who argue against affirmative action and all that shit, the argument is that everybody should have everything the same. Nobody should have any advantages. Affirmative action is an advantage. You know, making rules different for black people than for white people makes voting laws an advantage. They don't take into account the marginalization that happens when you don't have those kind of things in place. You have to acknowledge at the least that when affirmative action was implemented, it was necessary. Because all you had was a whole bunch of all white organizations that would not hire black people, not because they weren't qualified, but because they were black.
Yep.
And the government decided to intervene because y'all can't just isolate and blackball all black people from having a job. So, boom, affirmative action. You know, you have to acknowledge that at least it was relevant at some point if you don't believe it is today.
Yeah.
Now, I believe today it's still kind of necessary, but it's also still kind of harmful though. Because if it tells you in an organization of 100 people, you need to have 10, minorities in there. Once you get 10, you can stop.
Yeah. So
I think that they only seek to reach what affirmative action, but that's not a government issue. That's a corporation issue. That's a corporate. If you have if a business stops at 10 black people, they have a problem with diversity themselves. If they have 90% white people and 10 minorities, they have an issue with hiring more people of different cultures than them. So it's just but Jeff Sessions' situation has. But that's all of the stuff that he's done that has backtracked on, what was going on with him, including Coretta Scott King saying that he ain't the motherfucker. He ain't the one.
Yep.
But what he did recently was he lied to Congress. He told them he volunteered that.
They didn't even ask him.
I ain't had no contact with the Russians.
They didn't even ask him
Al
that.
Franken asked him a general question about communication, and he said, I ain't had no contact with the Russians. And I guess the other one, motherfucker, question mark popped up over his head, and he said, did you have any contact with the Russians? He was like, no contact with the Russians. I ain't had no contact. Well, turns out he motherfucking did have contact with the Russians.
Yep.
Listen, y'all, it would be one thing if you had, like, if, extreme example, if they was like, hey, have y'all had any contact with the Smurfs? And everybody said, yeah, we had contact with the Smurfs. That's one thing, because the Smurfs ain't in no current situations with our country. The Smurfs ain't got no problems going on. They ain't got nothing questionable that make it having a problem with the Smurfs. When you have a whole goddamn election that was rigged, not rigged, I want to say rigged, that was manipulated somehow by Russians. When you have that shit and then it starts to come out that all the motherfuckers that benefited from the Russians potentially manipulating this shit come out, bruh, you got a situation. And now we got AIDS coming out having had communication with Russia. Jeff Sessions having communicate. Michael Flynn stepped down because of his communication with Russia.
And now Jeff Sessions talking about he gonna recuse himself from the investigation. If y'all made Michael Flynn step down, Sessions should have to step down as well.
He should have to step down, but
Flynn was recusing himself.
Flynn was in a situation. Flynn was potentially in a position in which foreign diplomacy was going to intervene in his job. I mean, Jeff Sessions, it can, but Jeff
influence
Sessions
the investigation.
I mean, outside of the investigation, like Michael Flynn potentially was gonna have to be all over with the diplomats and shit. I don't think the Attorney General. I think his shit is more inner country. So that would be the only out I see for him in stepping down. Is saying I would have never had contact with Russians after this anyway. But the fact that he lied to Congress is illegal.
Under oath.
That's illegal.
Perjury.
And all he doing is saying, oh shit, I forgot about that meeting. What? Nigga.
Perjury. He committed perjury. And here's the thing. If somebody committed perjury on a case he was overseeing, he would throw the fucking book at their ass.
He would. And he's sitting over here talking about ain't no big thing.
I forgot. That's all. Nigga, okay.
Listen. One of our listeners, Colin, posted on his Facebook page. I hope you don't mind me mentioning you, sir. But he posted that Jeff Sessions looked like an old ass baby. Like he got, and then when I saw him, I was like, this motherfucker do look like an old ass goddamn little baby.
He looks like the Keebler F to me.
Keebler F was mentioned on his status too.
He does look like I see that. He put the little hat on.
Man, if you cut that motherfucker hair off, make him bald headed, and then put some goddamn fucking Johnson & Johnson oil on that nigga face, he will look like a grown old ass baby. That shit is funny. And
I hate his fucking accent. And I live here in Alabama. And I can't stand when niggas had that like old school racist ass,
sound like everybody from Life,
Southern accent.
Jeff Sessions probably the dude who asked Eddie Murphy had asked for nigga pie. Well, how much it take to turn them white only pies into nigga pies? How about we turn you to nigga pie? Billy?
Yeah, Billy.
That was Jeff Sessions.
How you know my name? It's on your shirt, nigga. What the fuck?
But
I hate his accent. I can't stand that shit.
Either way, we expanded upon Jeff Sessions ain't shit a little bit, but Jeff Sessions ain't shit.
Pretty much. Remy Ma made another diss track, and I ain't here for it. I didn't even listen to the shit, and I'm gonna tell you why. When you make some hot fire like Sheether and fucking Nicki Minaj don't respond, you won. Now you just doing a lot. Then she done made another fucking diss track. She posted pictures of her at, well, that was kind of funny, showing how she was SpongeBob before she got the surgery. But it's like, girl, you won. Like, I didn't even listen to it, and everybody, I didn't listen to it because I was just like, why would you do this? And then two, the reviews I keep seeing, even from people who like Sheether, because you know Nicki fans ain't gonna like nothing, but the people who even like Sheether were like, this is garbage.
Drake did it.
Okay, but with Drake, I'm gonna be honest. all I remember is Back to Back. I know he had a diss track before that. I don't remember that shit. I remember Back to Back is the thing that got played on the radio, not whatever the fuck that original diss was. I don't even know that shit. So I feel like he probably needed to come out with Back to Back because Back to Back is the thing that people remember. Not the first diss. I don't even know what the name of the first diss was. Do you? Mm-mm. Okay. So he had to. Everybody knows Sheetha. Sheetha was hot fire. You didn't need to come out with nothing else. That shit was memorable. But that shit is going to be on the radio.
I feel like that's just what you do. If you Remy Ma and you don't have any other tool set available except for murder, which you can't do because you on probation.
You on probation.
You rap.
I mean, but
and that's all she got right now. Like if you a police officer and you don't like a motherfucker, you pull their ass over every time you see him. But that's because you have the power to be able to pull them over. Like if you a rapper, you diss. You keep dissing.
Like I feel like she should have rode the popularity of Sheetha and put out like her own single. That what I would have done. I'd have been like, fuck Nicki at this point. I massacre her. She don't even matter now. Fuck her. Let me ride this success and put out something of my own instead of putting out another diss track. And now you look crazy. I feel like people lost. Like I feel like she lost like that high that she had where everybody was like, oh shit, nigga, oh my god, she murdered Nick. And now this shit, I don't even know the name of this second diss track.
Listen, man, that first shit was for everybody.
It's amazing.
Anything she doing from now is for New York folks.
I mean, I guess.
They love that. Like, that's her fan base. Like, she doing this shit for them.
But, okay, and let me just say, shout out to AC. AC had a problem. He was like, he wish he could be on the show anytime we talk about hip-hop shit, because, you know, he old hip-hop head. And he had a problem with us saying that she don't have mass appeal. But she don't have mass. I feel like we need to expound upon that. Because he was like, All the Way Up went like triple platinum. Yeah, but All the Way Up featured Fat Joe, French Montana, and Jay-Z. I don't think that a Remy Ma album on her own is going to have that success of going 3 times play. I don't feel like not to say that she's not talented, but she not going to do what Nicki Minaj did. Nicki Minaj made it to where she was able to cross over in different. She did some EDM shit with David Guetta. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to say his. You know what I'm talking about though, right? Mm-hmm. You don't know David Guetta? Have you ever heard Titanium?
Nope.
Fuck. Okay, well, we'll discuss this later. She had some pop songs that white people was loving. Remy's not really one of them people that white people are gonna be like. You know what I'm saying? Like she a little rough. She a little rough is what I'm saying. Like, it's not. So we weren't. I don't know if he felt like we were saying that she wasn't. She's absolutely talented, but I don't feel like she got crossover appeal the way that Nicki Minaj did. Nicki Minaj was able to do that. Remy gonna be Remy, and Remy New York is fuck.
And that's what I'm saying. When I say she don't have mass appeal, I don't think she is willing to cater to every population that she can, like Nicki Minaj has.
Exactly.
Nicki Minaj has been willing to work with anybody to get those listens, to get those views, to get those album purchases that put her in a position to go to every state and sell out. Like, Remy Ma, I don't think has the concern about catering to no Texas white girls or no any artist that would just say, hey, let's just get on this. You know what I'm saying? But you can't talk about this, or you can't say this. Okay, I just feel like Remy ain't somebody you could tell that she can't do shit.
Hell, the fuck no.
I feel like, and
this
so in that way,
her friend. She ain't trying to listen to nobody.
I feel like that's how gaining mass appeal is limited to her.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if that explains it better for him. I'm sure he love to address shit when he come on the show. I'm sure that's one of the things he will fucking address.
He might have some terms related to all of that shit and
that
more in-depth analysis and shit that we don't have. But like, I just don't feel like Remy gonna go around the country and sell out concerts.
She's not. And again, it isn't because she doesn't have the talent. It's because she don't have a want to cater to the groups that she would need to do to have that mass appeal the way that Nicki does. And she also ain't finna, like, I just don't see her exposing her like Nicki Minaj that made whole songs dedicated to her fucking ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't see Remy doing that shit. Like, I just don't. I don't see her doing that. So like, I hopefully that explains what we meant when we said last week that she don't have mass appeal, because she doesn't. And I don't think she wants it. I don't think she cares. I think she just want to be New York as fuck. And that's what she gonna do, is be New York as fuck. So, I don't know.
Listen, y'all. Moonlight won an Oscar, okay? I just want to talk about, this fucking toxic masculinity and this problem with homosexuality.
I watched Moonlight. I watched it because after it won the award, I was like, let me see what this is about. I don't understand why men would have a problem with it. I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody because it's still a pretty new movie. So for anybody that hasn't seen it, I won't give specifics. It is the focus of it is not on any gay shit. It's not really. I mean, if you go in and focus on that, then I guess you can. But that's not what that movie is about to me. And it was nothing in it that I feel, it wasn't like watching fucking the Strange Thing about the goddamn Johnson. That will make you uncomfortable. Moonlight, I don't think would make people uncomfortable watching it. Like, I don't think you would be uncomfortable watching Moonlight. Like the Strange whatever with the Johnsons, whatever the fuck the name of that crazy ass movie was. That was some uncomfortable ass shit. But Moonlight, not so much. Like, I feel like you have to look for an issue with that movie. You have to just have such an issue with like homosexuality that you just have an issue with it. Because it's not, the focus of it isn't really that.
You know what? It's like the way that these toxic men, umbrella, let's get down to a specific group, toxic black men treat homosexuality as it is shown through the black lens. They treat that shit like too much salt on something. Like, it don't matter if you can cook the most perfect goddamn roast, the most perfect cast iron skillet loaf of cornbread. It could be the most perfect looking shit ever. If you put too much salt in that shit, just a little bit too much, it's fucked up the whole experience.
You ain't gonna want to eat it.
That's how they treat shit with just a sprinkle of homosexuality.
No, it's ruined now.
It done fucked up the whole thing now. It done made it to where it's unpalatable at all for these men. And the problem is, ain't no goddamn movies out that's just about gayness. I mean, even Brokeback Mountain had overarching theme that involved homosexuality.
And it ain't even as deep into it as Brokeback. Because I heard a lot of people saying it's like the black Brokeback Mountain. Not at all. Not at all. Like, first of all, it was shot in a much more creative, it was shot differently. The way that it was filmed was completely different. And again, like, it's such a small part of the character that you have to just go in and decide you're gonna hate this shit because it's got some gay shit in it. Because that's not what that movie is about. It includes it, but it isn't completely about it. And I don't know. It does address toxic masculinity, so that might be why niggas is mad, because it does address what that's like to be in a community of toxic masculinity and be gay, and what that's like for the gay person to be homosexual in a community that is riddled with toxic masculinity.
And it's crazy because they don't have a problem with this sole individual that's trying to be who they is, getting their ass beat and bullied and treated all kind of crazy ways. They don't have a problem with that shit happening, but they got a problem with that person that's getting all that shit done to them just existing. Yeah. Like, that's fuckery. But I was on Facebook and one of my Facebook friends was like, a gay character in the Beauty and the Beast, really? Because they got a gay character in a Beauty and the Beast remake.
And I looked it up because I wanted to know what character. And the shit makes perfect sense. If you've ever watched Beauty and the Beast, and this isn't because the movie ain't even out yet, is it? So this ain't a spoiler. No. LeFou, who is Gaston, the narcissistic ass motherfucker that wanted Belle, he's his, like, I won't even say he's friends, because they not friends. He's like his henchman. He's the guy that he like makes do the shit he don't want to do. And if you've ever watched Beauty and the Beast, you wonder, like, why would LeFou be doing all of that? Like, Gaston treat him like shit. Why you want to be friends with this nigga and he treats you horribly? Well, if you have a crush on him, that would make sense that you would stick around and do the shit he don't want to do and let him kind of treat you bad just because you still able to be around him. That makes sense. I could totally see LeFou being gay. It ain't like they took. I don't know, and he's not a huge character in the movie. So again, that's just a situation. The motherfuckers just getting mad.
Somebody who gonna get 2 minutes in a movie is gay, and they got a problem with it. But on that comment thread, somebody said, "Why are they adding gay people to these kids' movies? They gonna fuck these kids' heads up with these adult themes in these movies." And I was like,
the Disney movies have adult themes.
Okay, so we not gonna talk about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, where this bitch done took an apple from a stranger that was poisoned. That ain't an adult theme at all, right?
Yeah.
You don't want your kids eating candy from strangers and shit, do you? Y'all got all kind of motherfucking PSAs on Halloween talking about how to be safe from candy and how to protect the kids, but y'all don't look at Snow White as an adult theme. Or we ain't gonna talk about Pinocchio. When he became a real boy, he just wanted to go smoke blunts on the island with his boys. That's what he wanted to do. He straight ran away from Geppetto to go smoke some fucking blunts. But y'all ain't gonna talk shit about the adult themes in Pinocchio. And Bambi motherfucking mama was killed off rip.
And his daddy wasn't shit.
Wasn't worth a damn.
This nigga was in the background the whole goddamn movie, and he ain't show up till this nigga lost his mama and the fucking forest is on fire. Then this nigga want to come claim the nigga. Like, where was you at during this whole movie?
But see, y'all don't want to talk about the adult themes in Bambi. What about Cinderella? What about her
all that
neglected psychological, emotional abuse, malnourishment that she experienced with her fucking stepmama because her daddy died? But we ain't gonna talk about the adult themes in Cinderella. We ain't gonna talk about Alice in Wonderland. We ain't gonna talk about her edible eating ass. We ain't gonna talk about her acid tripping ass. We ain't gonna talk about her following a rabbit and jumping down a hole like that shit's possible. Like, was the fucking hole big enough for a human to jump down after a rabbit? Well, I've seen a whole bunch of rabbit holes and my hand can't fit down in that motherfucker, let alone her diving into that bitch and having all kinds of experiences she had. That bitch was high, y'all. I'm letting y'all know, but y'all don't want to talk about the adult things in Alice in Wonderland. We ain't gonna talk about how Peter Pan kidnapped them kids, huh? We ain't gonna talk about how his strange flying ass done came and kidnapped them and convinced them they finna be kids forever in this motherfucker. That nigga was stealing their youth. I can keep going, man. I can keep going. But we ain't gonna talk about the motherfucking adult themes in Peter Pan. We only want to start thinking and looking at these movies in the context of adult themes when it comes to, a gay character been added in these motherfuckers 70 years since the start.
And it's a small, I think that adults are probably gonna recognize that LeFou supposed to be gay. I don't know that kids are gonna automatically be like, oh, that's some gay shit. I don't know, because the way it was described, the way the scene is described, it's a very subtle nod to him being gay. It's not like he's just like, oh my god, Gaston, I love you. It's not this deep ass thing. So I don't know, but of course, Alabama being Alabama, we got a theater that's saying it ain't gonna play it because it goes against the Bible and it's not a family friendly movie. You a drive-in theater. Do you know what kind of nasty shit happened?
You know what? I ain't even fucking finished. I am not done. We ain't gonna talk about Beauty and the Beast and Belle ass.
Don't fuck up Beauty.
Fuck that. We ain't gonna talk about Belle ass being cool with bestiality until the end of that movie.
A person. He was not a beast.
Was a person and did not know he was gonna be a person before that shit ended. She fell in love with a motherfucking beast ass beast.
But she was in an enchanted ass castle with talking spoons and shit. She probably had an idea this motherfucker might be enchanted too.
But he might stay a beast forever, and I'm gonna be in love with him. And either we not gonna have sex ever, or I'm gonna get banged by a big ass lion beast thing, whatever he was. Will the beast? What the fuck was he?
I don't know. A beast. He was just a beast. I don't think he was supposed. He had horns but he walked on 2 feet. It kind of looked like a lion. I don't know what the fuck he was supposed to be.
It's funny because the conservative argument for homosexuality is, it's gonna be okay to have sex with beasts after this, huh? You gonna be able to have sex in relationship with animals? But y'all ain't gonna talk about the adult things in Beauty and the Beast. We ain't gonna talk about Aladdin. We ain't gonna talk about how the poor just got shitted on the whole movie. Aladdin got shitted on the whole movie.
He did. And he had to have a magical genie.
He had to have a genie, a motherfucking non-existent ass creature. And to be real, if you look up the actual genies, they wasn't even good creatures.
No, they weren't. They were bad.
Like, they were horrible.
Yeah.
They would fuck your life up.
Yeah.
Aladdin made me think genies was good. Genies ain't worth a damn, but they made you feel like you had to go find a lamp, get a genie out of it just so you can get out of poverty.
Didn't they give you fucked up versions of your wishes?
Yeah, like, it's like them Geico commercials where the one where he said, I wish for $1 million.
Yeah.
And he put a bunch of bucks like deer like motherfuckers in the, like that's what the kind of shit they did. Yeah. You had to be very specific.
And it ain't no way, if you think about, there's no way to phrase something in a way that it can't be fucked up in some kind of way.
It can't be misconstrued.
There ain't no way. Like, if they want to fuck it up, there's always a way to do that.
Always. But we not gonna talk about the adult themes in Aladdin, huh? What about motherfucking Lion King? We ain't gonna talk about how Simba uncle killed his daddy, then had an attempt on his life until he had to set his uncle up to get killed by his cronies. We ain't gonna but we don't want to talk about the adult themes in Lion King. We don't want to talk about how these Disney movies can potentially be fucking up these kids until it got something in there that we genuinely and truly don't disagree with. Or don't agree with.
Yeah.
Because you can find bullshit in everything. Just like you can find bullshit in Moonlight. Just like you can find bullshit in a side ass 2-minute having in the motherfucking scene, gay character in Beauty and the Beast, and magnify that to make it the bullshit that you want it to be.
Cause really, shit, got Lumiere, the candlestick, was trying to fuck the broom the whole time in the original cartoon. Like, he kept flirting with her, and they would like run off, and she would be like, "You put me off." Like, he was fucking the broom. Like, I mean, I guess as much as a candlestick.
So how y'all motherfuckers feel about appliance relationships, huh? So
or dust or whatever the fuck
y'all want to talk about gay, but y'all don't want to talk about appliance sex, huh? Y'all motherfucking hypocrites.
If I think hard enough about idiots, I could find like Snow White living with 7 niggas was not
exactly. Like, you think she didn't wake up and see them doors masturbating in there? They ain't never been around a woman before. Y'all seriously don't think that she woke up to some creepy shit like that?
Or somebody just standing over
just
her.
Staring
at her.
What
is you doing?
Like, all of these movies. Yeah. Listen, first off, well, it is the end, but my criticism of Disney movies in general is they are like 95% worth of bullshit.
Yes.
Bullshit dilemmas. Oh, you meet some friendly characters along the way. Ha ha ha. You meet some characters that you like along the way, and you sing some songs. Woohoo. But at the end of the day, it's somebody going through some fuck shit.
Yeah.
All up until the last 2 minutes of the goddamn movie.
Pretty much.
It is a fucking emotional fest.
Yep. Oh, Simba just really had.
If you ain't crying Lion King because you didn't see that shit coming.
No,
like they didn't got the like Lion King was the first movie where they overtly took a character that meant something to us and out of that bitch
in the beginning.
Murdered that motherfucker straight up.
God
then
damn.
Put his ass in the clouds. And then the worst part, the hardest part of it was James Earl Jones' voice. Like if that voice coming out the clouds from you, it's got to make you sad.
He was a good dad. He was a great dad to Simba. Some bullshit.
Most of these kids out here got Scar for a daddy, goddamn. When you get a Mufasa, the Scar fuck them up.
Scar be the stepdaddy. Or the daddy that come after, Mufasa die.
Anyway, that's it.
We just fucked up all them Disney movies.
Listen, man, Disney movies got some adult themes in it.
They do.
A gay character in that shit is not the first time a kid gonna look at a movie and say, damn, that was fucked up. They might not say it like that because they ain't grown.
Let's not even start with DreamWorks. Let's not get on the Shreks and all of these other movies that absolutely have adult themes in them.
Oh, that shit.
A donkey and a goddamn
shit. The new Batman.
Dragon.
The new Batman is adult theme. I don't know if it's supposed to be adult like, but I like the movie. But I had a friend that on Facebook that he didn't like the movie. He got up and walked out of the movie, and I didn't wonder why. But he has adopted children.
Oh.
And a theme in that movie is that Batman adopted Robin by accident because he wasn't paying attention because he was looking at a hot woman across the room.
How the fuck you accidentally adopt a child? What?
I mean, clearly in real life you go through a whole bunch of little processes, but he went and he was just like, "Will you adopt me?" And Batman was looking across the room like, "Yeah," and just answering the questions. And when he got home, Robin had moved in. Alfred had moved him in. So, but it did shed a light on. It did downplay the importance of some people for adoption and things of that nature. So I understand how it can make
you want to walk
like
out
that.
with your kids that you adopted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he wasn't there with his kids, but he wasn't gonna take his kids to see it either because of that shit.
No.
Because that might be a sensitive subject to children that might have been adopted.
Hard ass conversation to come afterwards.
Anyway, that's all I got.
The last thing I had goes back to Nicki Minaj, but this time I want to talk about her ain't shit ass brother. Basically, I just wanted to say how fucked up it is that this motherfucker is on trial for pedophilia. And his argument, they want to introduce into evidence the sexual history of this 12-year-old. Nigga, it don't fucking matter. She is 12. I don't care if she done had sex with every little boy in that neighborhood. Your big grown ass shouldn't have made through your hat and ring, nigga. That's what the issue is. It isn't whether or not she was sexually active. It isn't whether or not she's promiscuous or not. It's this age difference between you and her with your dumb ass. You and your lawyer is stupid as fuck for that being your argument. That what? Oh, she had sex. She was fucking everybody, so I just thought I could do it too. Like, that's gonna get you off, nigga? No. That's stupid. And it's victim shaming and victim blaming and it's bullshit.
He don't watch too many goddamn episodes of Law and Order to make him think that that's a valid way to discredit a witness. It might be if the witness is old enough to consent. An adult. But if you're a goddamn 12-year-old, bruh, take your time that they finna give your ass and get the fuck on. Hopefully your sister will pay as much as possible to get you as little time as possible or get you in a place that ain't bad. You need to go somewhere where you can ride away. But Nicki getting a lot of criticism for that shit because she been giving this unrelentless support to her brother who now going into this new level of bullshit. Like, at what point do you call somebody that you care about out on the bullshit that they doing?
I got 3 brothers and all of them are above age. So if any of them niggas was fucking with a 12-year-old, fuck them. I'm gonna be there probably testifying against them because at the point that you doing some fuck shit like that, I don't give a fuck about us having no family ties. That don't make it okay because you my brother. You still wrong as fuck. And I'm definitely not finna be supporting you. She paid for this nigga wedding. Oh, now you want to marry a bitch your age. Oh, okay. But when you were fucking around with the 12-year-old, the fuck out of here.
I don't think that Nicki Minaj is smart. And like I said at the beginning, I think people like me and you take our intelligence for granted, and we don't realize how many dumb motherfuckers out here. When you say some shit like blood is thicker than water, motherfuckers will stick there with you. I am on the side of what's right, what's logical, and what's rational.
It just
I don't give a fuck
to
who you are if you break any of those shits.
Yeah.
I will call you on it. And if it's bad enough, I will distance myself from you because of it.
It goes back to Sessions telling on himself. He didn't say I didn't fuck with this 12-year-old. He's saying, look at her sexual history. You basically saying you did it, but it's okay because she was fucking everybody. How can you take up for him at that point, Nicki? Like, he didn't say he didn't did it. Now, I'm sorry. Like, you saying look at her sexual history, that's your defense because you ain't got no defense against doing it. Now you just like, well, she was fucking, so I fucked her. I don't think it's a problem because she was having sex with everybody. What? Nigga. Fuck that guy. Fuck Nicki for supporting him.
Have all the motherfucking seats.
All of them. A stadium full. But that's all. That's all I had.
You got anything else on your mind?
I do not.
All right. Well, until we come to the next conversation.
We out.
Holla.